Please, I've been begging for days. Can I have some World War II facts? Well, beg no more, young man. Yes, certainly. Did you know in World War II, the English soldiers were rationed to 3 sheets of toilet paper a day? Those flashy Americans got 22. Did you also know that Hitler's nephew served in the US Navy during World War II? That's got to be some family beef right there. Did you also know that the Americans, to avoid a German-sounding name during World War II, changed the name of hamburgers to Liberty Steaks? I love that. Crazy Americans. Oh, and did you also know that the youngest serviceman was from the US military and his name was Calvin Graham? He lied about his age, but upon injuring himself, they found out that he was only 12 years old. That is a brave young man. Or stupid. Well, one of the two. Can you give me a fact about medieval medicine? Yes, certainly. Well, if you went to the doctor with migraines, epilepsy, or mental disorders, the doctor would perform something called trepanning, in where he would bore a large hole into your skull. Usually people died of infections. I don't think they do that anymore, but I'm not a doctor, so. Oh, also, if you went to have cataract surgery, the doctor would do something called needling, which is where, with absolutely no anaesthetic, the doctor would push a needle straight into the side of your cornea. Usually, this just made people's vision go very, very blurry. Oh, and the last one, you know what a catheter is? That's what they insert into your urethra to help you make wee-wees. They used to use metal tubes. I'm going to go and throw up now. Can you tell me some facts about Chernobyl, please? Day 2. Yes, certainly. So, April the 26th, 1986, Chernobyl's reactor 4 goes kablamo. Now, this releases over 400 times the amount of radioactive waste that came from the nuke dropped on Hiroshima. That's a hell of a lot. And 35 years later, it is still circulating radioactivity. Ooh. Now, after the explosion, the first signs that were actually flagged up were not from the Russians. It was from a power plant in Sweden who were getting crazy readings and alerted the rest of the world. This is because it was the Soviet Union at the time and they were not going to let the West know about their troubles. Now, there are actually people living in Chernobyl. They do have to circulate in and out because of the radioactive levels, but apparently there is a 90-year-old man that just lives there. I suppose he'll die soon anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Did you know there are animals now back and living in Chernobyl? Some of them do have cancer and deformities, but, it's coming back. It's my birthday. Can you give me a gunslinger fact? Yes, certainly, and a very happy birthday. Well, gunslingers were outlaws, bank robbers, and even lawmen from the years of 1850 to 1890 who would wear guns in their holsters and settle disputes by quick draw. This was an extremely dangerous thing to do. Now, we've all heard of the names Jesse James, Wyatt Earp, and Wild Bill Hickok, and the most famous and most successful, Billy the Kid. But he himself only shot and killed 8 people before he was killed himself. But did you know there was a man called Black Bart, who was known as a gentleman outlaw, who after making bank robberies and such, would leave poetry for the lawmen chasing him? And did you also know the OK Corral shootout, the most famous Western shootout there is, only lasted 30 seconds? Oh, and also there was a section of policemen that brought in camels from the Middle East. They were called the Camel Cops. Ha! Crazy! Happy birthday! 2 facts about London gangsters.
Are you asking or are you telling, son? Because I didn't see no police. But first of all, let me tell you about Billy Hill. Now, Billy Hill committed his first stabbing at the age of 14. Then he went on to do the East Castle van robbery, which in those days was over 250,000, but these days would be over 7.5 million. Then we got the Creightons, who basically run London from the 50s and 60s. There's a lot about him, so we're going to leave him for now, so I can do a video on him. But then you got Charles and Eddie Richardson, who were part of the Torture Gang. Now, they were notorious for brutal crimes. Now they held their own trials, and if you were found guilty, you were taken off to get a clean shirt from Charlie, which basically meant you were about to get beaten so badly that your shirt would be covered in blood and you'd need a new one. Get it?